It's your girl, Sherry. Welcome back to another episode of Alleged Actually podcast. I am here with my Bravo Bestie, Joey. What's up, Joey?
What's up?
What's up? Listen, if you are new over here, we do reality TV recaps. Right now, tonight, we are going to recap Bravo's The Valley, Season 2, Episode 6. But we have a pop culture segment called The Pop Out. So if that's your thing, we offer that as well. And also, if you have been over here a few times and you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. All the things, guys, give us the thumbs up. Make sure you comment and share with a friend. Real quick, before we get into our commentary, I just want to shout out a few of our subscribers that are faithful. They watch us, they comment, they talk about, they enjoy, our banter. So shout out to at Reality Connoisseur 73. Thank you so much for your support. Also at Shanda Anderson 9804. Thank you as well. Girl, you be knowing. Yeah. Also, Jezzy Mika 9709. I see you, ma'am. Thank you for your comments. And Tanza Pettiford, we love you. Thank you. So y'all keep tuning in. We're gonna keep bringing you this good content. All right. So Joey, what did you think of the episode last night?
I feel like a broken record, but I can't help it. I just love the Valley. I think that they are just bringing it. I think that it goes back to the thing that we always talk about, though, where the shows where the people are actually friends, the relationships are genuine. It's a different vibe. It's a different show. I feel like that's why Bravo's struggling right now in general. I feel like that's why the shows in the past were so successful. When all these franchises started, they were all friends.
They were.
Our family, you know what I mean? For everything from Jersey to OC to Beverly Hills to Shaws of Sunset. Yeah. I'm still mad that they canceled Family Karma. I don't understand it. The shows where the relationships are genuine, it's a different feeling. The Valley is a different feeling. The drama doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel anything. It's real.
It's real.
And these people that they found, I shouldn't even say found, because the people that were already in this friend group, are stellar television. Even the ones that I hate.
I know. They're still good from reality TV. Yes, absolutely.
They are.
They really are. I agree. I'm really enjoying, like I said, and I need it because my lineup is getting slimmer and slimmer. And yeah, so there's that.
I know. We're due for a boost soon.
But, Miami's coming. So we
thank the Lord. I love Miami.
Miami's going to be really, really good. I have a feeling this season. Not even have a feeling. I watched the trailer. It's going to be good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. So we are doing, like I said, Season 2, Episode 6. It was called Close Pantry Doors. And we pick up where we left off, where, they are the dinner, the whole melee with Danny being missing in action because, according to Nia, he was tired. And according to the remainder of the friend group, he was wasted. At that point, there was chatter and there was, anger that Nia has a habit of trying to be perfect and to cover for Danny. And there was a lot of chatter behind her back. So,
see, that's the part.
That is the part. That is the part. Because friends should. Why would that be so difficult to even say? So,
right, at a dinner table, be like, Nia, be so for real, girl. Your man's drunk. It's not a big deal.
No, because so were a lot of them were torn up. So I'm like, listen, Jesse, all that whole trip, he was tore up. So I'm like, really? At any rate, Zach particularly is upset again with Brittany and Jasmine, Janet as well, because they're saying it behind her back. That's the thing. So he goes, as a good friend should, and says, hey, this is what's being said about you. And she's upset. So the cool thing about last night, I think that's how things go, right? You think you're being sneaky and just going off talking about somebody, and they hear you.
Always.
Always, always, particularly when there's drinks involved, because you just can't be quiet anyway. But so Zach and Nia actually roll up on Brittany and Jasmine in the midst of them just going off about how she just covers up for him. Okay. And then Zach said something that I agree with 1,000%. And he was like, Brittany, how many times have you covered up for Jax when he's been drunk, child high, a woman beater, a cheater? I mean, really?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And so she's basically saying that she just wants Nia to acknowledge what's happening. Jasmine says Brittany puts her life all out there and, other ones don't. Danny then joins the chat, all confused, child. He wakes
They're
up.
on a reality TV show. Who's not putting anything out there? I don't understand what they're talking about.
Exactly. I mean, and then, like I said, if God forbid you try to not put it out there, production has a little trick for you called but look at here. We were filming.
Let's be honest. It doesn't matter if production does or not. It's going to be in the tabloids. It's going to be on TMZ. It's going to be on social media. So, yes. I mean, girl, this is like the life that you chose. You could have went back from Vegas to Kentucky and lived a very happy, quiet life. You chose this, and here we are.
And here we are. Absolutely. So,
poor Danny, though. Yeah, he was so confused.
I know. He gets up and he's like, what? And Nia's like, well, I mean, this is what's going on. And and Jasmine's like, why is everyone tiptoeing around their life? Nia tells Danny she needs a second to process when they do get back in the room. And she doesn't even want to be consoled because he does try. And she tells Danny that, they're mad because she said she was calling him Daniel a lot. Maybe that's like her when she's a little annoyed. That's her thing, like a parent. They call you out your full government name.
I just love them.
I mean, they're so cute. They are so, so cute. Adorable. I didn't even realize she was a pageant girl, but yeah, if she said that, I must have missed it. But I can clearly see why. She's absolutely stunning. So she's like, Daniel was tired, but she agrees he did have too much to drink. And she said, but two things can be true. He can be tired.
Right.
And he still could have had too much to drink. Just the whole thing was really dumb.
Did they go to a winery to stay sober? Like, I don't understand, what is everyone so concerned about? Right. And remember, like you said last week, he said, all right, guys, I'm back. So now it's time for me to catch up. And so, we'll get to it, but the big deal that everybody made about him going in the pantry and taking a swig of what was it? Tequila.
Yeah, tequila.
I'm still mad about the pantry, and I know we'll get to it, but I just have to say, what he said last night to Nia when describing it was the same exact thing he said on Watch What Happens Live.
Mm-hmm.
And these were months and months apart, the filming and Watch What Happens Live. His story hasn't changed. So I don't understand. And again, you guys were on vacation and you went to a winery. Were you trying to stay sober at a winery? I just don't get it. And no one gave him any grace for the fact
they didn't include the guys.
Stayed sober the day before, drove all the way back home, worked all day. And Jasmine, what? Because you stand there and read lines? Jasmine, shut up. And then he drove all the way back to be with these people and his wife again. We keep saying, the dude has 3 kids, 3 little kids.
Yes.
Let the man drink. Who cares?
Let him let his hair down. It's crazy to me. They're demonizing him for something, like I said, all of them are indulging in. And unless there's more that's going to come out in the season from what I'm looking at, it's just like a dude, when you, like you said, when you're in the house all the time, being the responsible one, when it's time to vacay, let your hair down. If they're friends, they shouldn't judge him like that. And like I said, now I will stand corrected.
I'm a little nervous about that myself. Of
Because
course, like
the
villainous
guys weren't
Janet.
giving him grace, right? Because you
No,
would
but
think
like
the
of course,
guys.
villainous Janet and Jason Ron watched What Happens Live last night, and she like, of course, made it seem like, oh, well, ask that in like a few weeks, you know, like.
I know. I just hope he doesn't give it to him because her comparison, and we will get to it, was just god awful. But
disgusting.
It was. It was. So Janet tells the girl that Danny went in the pantry, closes the door, and takes, yes, a swig of the Casamigos. That's what it was. I was like, which one was Casamigos? I've never tried that, by the way.
Delicious. Not even like tequila like that.
Okay. No, I'll have to try it next vacay. So Janet says she's been with someone that had substance abuse before, but she says it's like the denial that she finds a commonality in, and that's what concerns her. That was very, very irresponsible for her to do, in my opinion. And rightfully so, Nia is upset that Brittany didn't talk to her directly, instead behind her back. She admits her and Danny are more reserved and they don't talk about everything. They work their stuff out kind of behind closed doors. That's just how they do. And then Janet said they would all be there if she admitted Daniel had a drinking problem, because she so desperately wants her to admit that or say that for some reason.
I don't understand it. And like, again, though, right? Like, you're posing as Nia's friend. It's like that Erica Jane line from Beverly Hills, right? You pose as a friend, but you act like an enemy.
Yes.
That's Janet to a T.
Yeah. 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 That was dirty work, what she did. It really was.
And as I'm sure we're going to talk about, it only gets worse.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So Michelle asked Brittany how she was doing. Okay. So we get past that. Then it's the next morning. Everybody's getting ready. Some of them are leaving that morning. Michelle asked Brittany how she's doing after last night. Brittany, Zach, and Jasmine are getting themselves together to leave. Zach thinks the trip was a train wreck.
As most cast trips are.
Absolutely. So now we are on a scene where we get to see our beloved Scheana J. I know, right?
Again, I feel like it's an unpopular opinion, but I've always been like a Scheana fan, and I know that she gets a lot of hate out there. And it's funny, again, I'm just going to go off on like a tangent, but I have a coworker that I finally convinced after all these years to watch Vanderpump Rules. And she started from season 1. She's like on season 6 right now, and we're always talking about it at work. And she agrees with me, though, that Scheana has a bad rep. I don't believe that Scheana has an ounce of like meanness in her body. I think that Sheena's main flaw was that she was always trying to be friends with everyone, wanted everyone to kumbaya, and when you try to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one. It works against you. And like everyone, Sheena's gonna go to the Valley. I'm excited to have Scheana be on the Valley again. It's a genuine relationship. It's not like they just like plucked her and dropped her in this like random cast. No. And I like Scheana. I've always liked Scheana.
I have always liked Scheana. Sometimes she would get on my nerves about her self-absorbedness, making everything. Yes.
Understandable.
About her. Yes. And sometimes I'm like, girl, that's reaching. Come on. But it's a character flaw. And no, when I think of mean on there, or like, you got your Katie's or your, even as much as I used to like Lala, I mean, that's mean.
Oh, I love Lala.
Lala too, but like, she has her moments where it's like, come on now. But shout out to Lala, prayers for you, because of the whole eye thing. Yeah, I read about that.
What eye thing?
So she had a procedure done. She has precancerous cells in her eye.
Mm-hmm. Wow, I didn't hear about that.
Yes, she shared it on Instagram. So like, I'm not allowed. You know what I love about Lala is how real she is and how she don't care. It's like she can be an island on herself and she's strong enough to do it. And Vanderpump Rules wasn't like that. And everybody's very cliquish and you have to be on my side. And so I always respect someone that can be like, girl, you're wrong. Girl, you're wrong. And if y'all all don't want to talk to me, I don't care. And that's Lala. That is very Lala Kent. Mm-hmm.
It is. It is.
It is. It is. So, yes. Thoughts and prayers, Lala. You're going to be okay. You're going to beat it. So, at this point, Scheana and Michelle are hanging out. And they also have Summer and Isabella together. That is so cute. And Michelle's like, Summer's a good influence on Isabella. I'm like, y'all, they're little girls. I can't.
Anyone would be a better influence than her mother. So I mean, Michelle is just, I think, so rancid.
I swear. But at any rate, they're talking, they're doing their little walk, and Michelle says they bond over the fact that they've both been through a divorce, and that's understandable. And Michelle tells Scheana how horrible things were with Jesse, how they went, and the things that he said that no one should ever say to, I think we're going to get this from her a million times, the mother of his child.
But she doesn't reciprocate that sentiment. And that's what drives me crazy. Because you are out here talking all kinds of crazy about Jesse, who, again, is no saint.
No.
But that is the father of your child. And you don't seem to care about saying all this crap about him on television.
That part. That whole part. That sums it up. I mean, you're right. That's a double standard. You want him to just handle you with kid gloves because you're the mother of his child. Sure. I mean, like I said, that should garner some respect. But so should the fact that he's the father of your child. So
that's all I'm saying.
Yep.
You don't have to like love Jesse, but like Michelle is a hypocrite. She is. But that's what Bravo loves.
Oh, don't they know? So she tells her that Aaron is struggling with the drama, so much so that he may leave if it doesn't get better. Now, I thought that was interesting. Because, how much of it is really directed at Aaron?
0. Aaron was invited on the trip and chose not to go.
Right. So, like, what am I missing, Joey? Because I'm thinking,
And I think we've seen them film together, one time at Brittany's party or whatever.
The night party,
so, like,
right.
they're not like, around each other.
He was fairly decent. I mean, he's a guy, he's trying to like flex a little bit with his friends, but nothing that we're seeing on camera that indicates that Jesse is like causing him, undue stress in his life.
Right. Maybe it's a cop-out, and maybe he's like, wow, this chick is crazy, but I'm going to blame her ex, too. Well, that's like the hot topic.
Because think about how stupid she acted at Dave and Buster's when he said that comment, and we come to find out it's not the first time that she heard Jesse make that rumor, and it was so attention-seeking and so damsel in distress and so unhinged, and I mean, maybe it's just too much, like she wants to be the victim, and she's needing him to lean on. That could be extremely exhausting. So, like my girl on Miami, but I won't go there. There's going to be an ADHD moment. I'm not going to do it. We will get there. No, our girl with Jody.
Lisa?
Yes. Jody, he's still there, though. I got to give him props. He's still with her. I mean, as much as she talked about her ex, and as much as most men after a while, or women, if you're doing that much talking about your ex, then baby, you need to go heal before we can be in anything, because
I know, and yet he's still hanging on.
Still there. He is still there. I'm shocked, because I just figured when they wrapped that up, he was going to be out, because she was obsessed. I mean, I understand why. Trust me, that ain't easy, man. That's tough. Because, I mean, Lisa was his whole Barbie, and then you go replace me with the younger. Oh, just dirty work. Yeah. Yeah, he was gross.
Ugh, anyway, guys, gross.
Yes, so gross. I digress. We're going to get back to the valley. So, so then after that scene, we go over to Jesse, and his life coach comes by. his life coach, Scott. And he, prior to that, was their marriage coach.
Which is so odd to me.
It is.
Because you wonder, right? Like, did he choose to go off with Jesse one-on-one because he sided with Jesse? Or was that just where, like, the money took him? You know what I mean? Because obviously you're not going to be a life coach for Michelle and Jesse after you were their marriage counselor.
True. I felt like he was giving that he was siding with. I mean, at this point, he's Jesse's life coach, so he's not going to be able to like, Jesse, you're wrong. But it was giving that he was siding with him to me because of her. I mean, he did the whole, and I'll let me just get to it. But so even though they did the whole marriage coach thing, that was just last year. So we're talking like the year prior, he was trying to help them save their marriage. Now he's helping Jesse navigate the fact that they're going to get a divorce. So Jesse's trying to figure out why he's triggered so easy. And I don't think that takes a rocket scientist, but he's trying to figure out if he won or fell. And then I guess they do a flashback where she says there's no way he's a good guy when you're out with your friends drinking wine. Okay, yeah. So they do a flashback of how she talks to him about him spending that amount of time with his friends. And then Scott tells Jesse that basically it's projection because at that point she was cheating. So to make him feel like he was an awful person for hanging out with his friends to go wine tasting or go drink wine was pretty rich.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it. And it's still, and I love that he still said it's still happening.
Oh, yeah.
Because she knows she triggers you, blah, blah, whatever. It's about making you look like the bad guy. And now no one's talking about how you cheated for 2 years.
Which I think is unbelievable.
Maybe in that circle they're not talking about it, but I know as viewers, I see right through you, Michelle, right through you.
Me too. Because I'm like, girl, I mean, there's a way. If you're unhappy in a marriage, you can, speak up, separate. You're not giving me what I need. She claims over and over that he didn't compliment her, or show her affection. We saw that on last season that he did, in fact. But who's to say that was for the cameras? She could have been miserable. I don't know. Not for me to say. But
didn't look miserable when she was jet setting with him, so
no, it didn't. No. So he basically tells him, no more acting like a jerk. He uses a different word. But then he tells Jesse, try something like screaming into a pillow. Which he does. And then they kind of flashback showing their confrontations back and forth. Okay, unpopular opinion maybe. I feel bad for Jesse. I mean,
I do too. So I've said it, I'll say it again. I am Team Jesse in this moment on this show.
Right.
Do we know the inner workings? Absolutely not. One of my very good friends, Kyra, she's like Team Michelle. We fight about it all the time. I can't understand it. I saw a preview that Michelle today was on the Vile Files, and she was getting more in. I didn't watch it, but I saw more into the money spending that he was doing.
Okay.
But again, though, for me, I once again go back to he's spending money on what? Lavish vacations that you were on too. I just am not buying she's taking zero accountability if she had no part in this marriage falling apart. Girl, you're a cheater.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, but all I've seen this season of you is you being absolutely rancid. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. This whole victim playing thing you're doing. I mean, I'm glad it's working on your girlfriends and stuff, but it's not working on me. And if anything, it's almost making me even be more Team Jesse.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's the one showing emotion. He's the one, my life's falling apart, blah, blah, whatever. you don't seem sad. You're like, bye. You know what I mean? Like,
right. She's moved on. She was like, she acts like she don't care. He is suffering. And that's why I said, I honestly feel bad. That's got to be hard. You're in the same friend group. You're working together on this show. She doesn't show any remorse because that would help. I made a poor decision. I wasn't happy. I should have done it a different way. Like if she gave him something, and it's always, no, you were horrible to me. You didn't ever do this for me. You this, when that's harder to take.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
I really feel like what's so unfortunate, these girls, particularly Brittany, she's like a girl's girl, and so she's going to blindly support her friends, but I feel like it's trauma bonding because of what she went through with Jack. So all men are gross. You know what I mean? Like, there's all, like even she wants Danny to be vile. Like he has to be a raging alcoholic. You're just not telling us. And Jesse was awful to you. Girl, Jax is all you, boo. That was all your decision. Don't projection again.
Yeah, I mean, like, we had what? We had audio of him cheating on her with Faith, and like she was just okay with it. You know what I mean? Let's get married. Let's have a kid.
Sure
So,
was.
I mean, I don't know.
I know. So anyway, we leave them and we go over to Kristen and Luke so we can have a reprieve for a little bit. They are moving in a beautiful 3-bedroom. They're going to have a nursery, guest room. But they're renting right now, and understandably so, until they figure out, everything that's going on. They have a nice pool, the whole nine. And Jasmine stops by, and Kristen asked, how was the ride home? She said that she didn't ride with her, but she just doesn't understand, again, why Danny was so tired, because he literally just does voiceovers. So that was the comment that
She is obsessed with Danny. Maybe Danny's making her question her sexuality, and that's why she doesn't like him.
Maybe.
That man, who, mind you, like, I'm sure is super busy and doesn't have time for a lot of people, whatever, lives rent-free in that woman's head like I've never seen. It's it's so weird to me. What is your obsession with Danny?
Because when you said earlier, and you said, it's like she's maybe like over exaggerating it for a storyline, maybe. And the only other thing that I can think of is, it just feels like if you knew the man was drinking. Now, if he was like a slime ball, and every time Nia turned her head, he was, trying to get at you, that's a very different thing. You know what I mean? Like,
and like, they are friends. They are in like the same friend group. So like, granted, like it is inappropriate, especially when it came to like her girlfriend or whatever.
That was worse. Maybe that was her thing.
100%. And maybe that is her thing. But like, I just feel like when you're all out drinking and you like touch someone, like, I don't know, with like my friends, like, that's how we act. It's not like malicious. It's not anything. And I feel like seeing Danny's personality on the show, he's joking and he's playful and he likes to have a good time. Like, and again, I wasn't there, and maybe I'll be proven wrong, but like, I just don't see it being a malicious thing. And I feel like she is just blowing this up for her TV moment because like maybe she doesn't have anything else.
Well, I don't think so. I mean, I agree, because remember I told you I was just kind of like, I'm still on the fence because I haven't seen much. But if this is going to be her storyline, that's not going to bode well. Again, I'll get to why I would give her some credit in what she feels. This is the next part. She basically says, look, it's hard to be in a same-sex relationship, lesbian particularly. They're fetishized. She said, and we're not taken seriously. She was like, if this was Janet and Jason and he did the same thing, like he drunkenly grabbed Janet's butt, it might have resulted in a fight. Knowing Jason, no, it wouldn't have. But
right.
No, it probably wouldn't have. He'd have been like, all right, man, you've had too much. You know what I mean? But
yeah, and I'll be honest, I felt like pulling the gay card was such a cop-out. I think because that no one's going to come back at you for that, because like, oh, you know, hurt feelings, like the climate we're in. I'll call you out. Crap. Anytime you have to pull the gay card like for like that purpose to like try to like elevate you in like the thing, it's a cop out. It's absolute a cop out, and she knows that no one's gonna fight her on that. So like they're just like, oh, okay, yeah, you know, no. Yeah. That one line just pissed me off.
Did it?
It did. It really did. And like I might get some hate for saying that. Maybe the people that feel differently. I felt like it was such a cop out. And that's what you use when you want to win an argument, because no one can fight you on it.
That's true. True. It's kind of like pulling the black card sometimes. Hey, yeah, I'm not gonna fight you too much. So I get it. Totally get it. Well, Brittany then asked if they want to have a dinner to clear the air. And so they all agree. And then, of course, you know, it's hot. So her, Jasmine, Kristen, Luke, they all jump in the pool. All right, who cares? All right. And then.
But very happy for them in their new home that they're renting.
Oh, I am.
I love that they're so consistent with coming to Danny's defense, too, by the way.
Oh, they are. They have been wonderful. Because they're the only ones that literally make sense. They were like, look, we were all drinking. It's not like, I mean, everything they said made sense where everybody else was just so irrational about it. And like I said, unless there are things that we don't know and we'll find out. If so, I'll retract my statements. But
yeah, it got brought up in one of our Facebook groups today. Someone's like, was it Danny that twisted Kristen's like nipple or chest like last season? And I was like, huh, was it? And I was like, no, it wasn't. It was Jesse. And Kristen, guess what she did? Like a normal human being, when he apologized, she like let it go. Yeah. And I'm sorry, but Jesse doing that in the situation that they were in was much different than drunken Danny at a bar having a good old time. To me, being himself. I don't know, like being funny, whatever. Maybe he thought he was being, you know, candid or cheeky and it didn't go over well. Yeah. He apologized, but like if Kristen can get over Jesse, Jasmine, you got to get over Danny.
She's got to. And literally, I thought about it because she even made a comment, I guess, later that, you know, she doesn't know why she's so triggered or why, you know, she can't let it go. Like, okay, so if she does have another conversation, I can't fathom what further can the man say. I mean, what else do you want him to do? I just...
Right. Or then just the conversation should have been when he apologized, I'm really sorry, I need more time or whatever. Don't play like it's hunky-dory and then like drag him on national television like, girl, please.
That part. That whole part. I agree. Well, we do get a glimpse at Luke looking for rings for Kristen, which is so cool. She likes an emerald cut. I know that's right. She has capped Luke at $10K for the ring. But, you know, he was like, if I don't stay in that, you know, she'll chop my balls off. And so, okay, Kristen, you run that. But Luke plans to propose sometime that year. So love to see Kristen growing up. And love that. And Luke, it seems to be a really good one for her. And he said that he decided that she was the one on their long trek to, I think it was Indiana they were going to. They were going on a long road trip with 4 dogs in tow. And that's when she showed him that she was the one. So more to follow there. And then we're over to Isabella and Jesse. She's a very cute little girl, by the way.
She is so cute and she's so smart.
She is smart. Is she not? She's very, very smart. Like
wow.
Like a little boss. I'm like, yes, ma'am.
She is. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So they played the clip again where she called him a disaster, meaning Michelle, and he called her a whore. I guess they're going to run that all season. That was
that's all we're going to hear about.
That was a moment, though. So it was.
It was not a good look for Jesse. Not a good look.
No. It was not. So, so they FaceTime with Michelle, and I guess Isabella lost her keys, child, and her mama was letting her know that she found them in the fridge. And she's like, okay, well, then run me my keys. Go ahead and get them out the fridge and run them right over here. Y'all, I was so cracked up. That little girl, she gonna be running things, okay?
Yeah, especially because they listen, and Michelle ran them over.
She did. She did. Jesse's like, no lies told. Run her keys.
Yeah, I mean, but you know what? It was the most civil we've ever seen Michelle and Jesse.
It was. It was. Well, she barely acknowledged him. She was focused on her daughter,
That's
which
true.
I mean, typical. So, Jesse it says Jesse hates how much Michelle has this deep seated anger for him, and he says at this point, he's just coexisting with her, and maybe that's just all that he can hope for at this moment. So now we're over at Brittany's, and she's got her chef, and they're getting ready for their dinner to move past their issues with Nia. And they have the little hot chef, Chef Jeff. What I'm talking about. Poor Nia, she arrives looking angelic as usual, but she's so uncomfortable.
I know.
Yeah.
Walking into the lion's den.
Pretty much.
When really, like, why should she feel weird? Like, she didn't do anything wrong.
She didn't. They really owed her an apology. I mean, that's a discussion that you have with your friend if you feel that way, but talking behind their back and making it a whole thing, that's not being friends. So, they had some appetizers and they do their cheers, and Brittany goes right in. And so she's addressing what happened. And she said, because I love you, Nia, I want to clear the air. So she does apologize. And so does Jasmine. And Nia gets emotional and says it was really hurtful for her friends to wait until she left the table to even talk about that. And I'm like, agreed.
Yeah, because she wouldn't have been upset if they had said it to her face.
No.
I truly believe that. Mm-hmm. It was the talking behind her back that was the problem.
And you see how emotionally intelligent this girl is. I mean, even when she realized, she remains calm, and she's just like, you know what? It would have just been nice had you said it to my face. She was upset, but I'm saying, not like a Brittany, like, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Very, which goes back to the fact that she says, okay, we're not like y'all. We're not going to brawl it out on TV. We're a little more buttoned up, and you see that in her personality.
100%.
Right. And so here we go back. Jasmine tells her the Halloween story, how it triggers her yet again. But this I found surprising. So I want to get your thoughts on this, Joey. And when Nia said, well, what y'all don't know is that we were not in a good place after that for weeks. And they did therapy and marriage counseling to get through it. Good gracious. So, all right, Joey, now I need your thoughts. Do you think that was it really then just the Halloween thing? Or now do you think there's some other things clearly going on there?
I mean, it couldn't have been just the Halloween thing because, again, I just don't think that was a big deal. And I don't want to, minimize how Jasmine felt, right?
Sure.
Because, that is her truth.
Right.
However, then obviously you guys really aren't friends. Because if I had friends that, couldn't get over me touching them when I drink, I would have no friends. And I just don't know. Maybe it's how I grew up. I've been a bartender for 20 years on the side still, even though I have a full-time job. And it's the industry, it's the life. And it's just it is what everyone's touching everyone. It's you guys are all friends. I just don't get it. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. And I feel for her to be oh, we had to go to therapy and da-da-da. It couldn't have just been Halloween.
No. I don't see that. I mean, that wouldn't have warranted all of that. That would have warranted a very stern conversation, a definite apology, and but not what she said. But okay. And Michelle says this is the perfect perception is what gets everyone so upset. And I was like, why are you talking?
But that's also on them that they feel like the perception's perfect.
Right.
Nia has always held that they're not perfect. She said it time and time and time again.
Mm-hmm.
So stop projecting how you feel about them onto them.
That's true. That's it.
Neither of them have ever said that they're perfect. Both of them think that they're a hot mess. Both of them own that their lives are messy and blah, blah. So they don't, like you said, yell and be aggressive and da-da-da on television.
Right.
Like, who cares?
Right. I mean, so and being their friends, you should know their personalities and realize this is not who they are. You know, that's not, I mean, watching her interact with everyone, I mean, she just has that calming like spirit about her. I just, you know, I'm sure she probably, you know, can go with you if she needed to, but she's a little spicy Latina there. I mean, so but overall she's very calm. What I thought was so sad is even that she felt like she had to give them this, but she goes into telling the girls about how she was homeless as a child with her mother, how they literally would have to pitch tents in friends' yards. And Kristen was like, you know, I didn't know that. But, you know, after knowing that, she said she will never let anyone talk ish about Nia again.
I know. We really are seeing empath Kristen for real this time.
Yeah, we are. We are. I was like, go, Kristen. You know what I'm saying? Because she was already very protective of that. Because literally, I think for her, it's kind of like she's getting older and like the stupidity. And God knows the stuff that child went through on Vanderpump Rules. And whoo. So, I mean, she's definitely done her healing journey. And now she just kind of sees through all the cuckoo. She's like, y'all, it's really not even that serious. Like, knock it off, you know? So Nia tells them that she's the way she is because of what she's been through. And she takes a positive, grateful approach. Which, if more of us did, honey, we'd be better.
She needs to rub off on some of those girls at that dinner table.
God knows.
Lord knows Michelle ain't grateful for anything.
No, quite the opposite. She's a victim, and everything has happened to her.
Mm-hmm. And to be honest, like Brittany needs to probably pump the brakes a little bit too, because, girl, let's be honest. You could be this like strong, independent woman. You're choosing to be the victim instead. Like, girl, stand on your own.
Exactly.
Jax Taylor, look at the support group you have around you.
Oh, I know. And I mean, look, you've made it, sweetie. You don't have to do that. What wears me out with her, and I have not only friends like this, I have some family members like this. You constantly talk about how horrible this man is. How, oh my gosh, y'all, it's like I can't get away from him. I can't. You're the one answering the text. The block works for me. You know, and if I want somebody to leave me alone, I know how to do it. So how come you can't? And I mean, I'm not saying that there aren't men that are a little bit more, you know, aggressive in your face, that are crazy. But if she put her foot down, the problem is she doesn't. But she wants that support and sympathy from her friend group. But she still gives in to Jax, you know. She's still talking to him. She's still, you know, encouraging some of his but that man needs, honestly, like I said, that's the worst case I've ever seen of narcissism in my life. Probably among other things that I just don't have the knowledge of the terminology. But that man, Jesus have mercy.
Yeah, it's like really bad. And like there's obviously like way more from his past, I think, that we like are not privy to, that created this human being. I mean, it's like, it's bad.
It is. And I hope, because honestly, Brittany lost a few points with me, or a lot of points with me, with the Nia thing, and even with the Zach thing. I don't like people that play so innocent, but you still being messy, dropping them bombs, and then, you know, like, oh no, I still love you though. and I love you too, girl. And I know that type too. So I know some. Yeah. Yeah. So it was like now, and honestly, when I was looking at some of the blogs and the comments, I'm not by myself. Some people are really turning on
No,
it.
you're definitely not by yourself.
No. So, okay. So then Jasmine says that she can appreciate that. She just felt like she was hiding things. Again, I don't know why they feel like Nia owes her this much. She has already addressed it. Janet is glad that she's happy that she's being honest and open. But it's not like Jason is chugging liquor in their pantry. I mean, I don't even know why I even wrote that down because I don't even know. I don't even care.
But that was the gateway to, here's the Janet we remember from season 1. This nightmare of a human. I will say she gave us 3 good episodes. I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for the few episodes we had where she showed her side. But the minute she made the comment about the closet or whatever, I was like, oh, here she is. Here she goes. Yep. Welcome back to our screens.
Yep. That would be the vile Janet we know and dislike. Yep. She hated that he had the drinking. She says she's been with someone again, like we said, that had drug and alcohol problem. And it made her think of that. And Nia thinks that that's a big thing to say. And
it's a huge thing to say.
Huge, right.
My jaw, literally dropped.
Yeah, that's ballsy.
Mm-hmm. Ballsy. And you know what? How dare you? And you know what? You better have some receipts to back up a comment like that about your friend's husband on national television.
Exactly. And keep in mind, Danny, he acts and, his reputation, that was dirty. That was real dirty. Yep. So Kristen summarizes, if any of them have a problem, they will go to the person. They all pinky swear, just to sum up the night. And Nia's Uber comes. She doesn't feel like Janet's being a friend, which she wasn't.
Because she's not.
No, she wasn't. And she really feels like she's weaponizing what she went through, meaning against her, like what Janet went through with that guy. She's more projection than weaponizing.
Yeah, once again, way to make it about yourself. What an a-hole move.
Extremely. And I cannot wait. And I mean, we'll get there too when someone reveals that when Jason goes out, he takes his wedding ring off.
Those that live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, Janet.
That part. So that's going to come out soon. Can't wait for that one. And Kristen tells him it's a very dangerous thing to call someone an alcoholic. Agreed. Y'all, we've been here before on other shows too. It's like, y'all, that's...
But wasn't it funny, this group of disasters that I just love watching so much.
Right.
They make this pact, right? We're no longer going to talk behind each other's backs. We're going to go to that person. Dude, that Uber wasn't even out the driveway. And they just start talking about Nia. I just can't get over it.
They did. They sure did. The door was barely closed good.
Nia might not have even been in the Uber yet.
Probably wasn't. I'm like, dang, y'all. That is accurate, Joey. Jasmine really wants to confront Danny. She says she's she says she's over it, but acknowledges she thought she was over it, but she acknowledges that maybe she's not. You think?
We're fully aware that you're not over it.
You don't even have to say, honey. We are tracking. You are not over it. Okay.
And you know what? I hope that they do have a conversation. And I hope it does go well. Because again, I don't think that from what we've seen, at least, that Danny's a bad person. I'm very much Team Danny at the moment. And I mean, I just feel like, what more can he do besides apologize? I just don't know what else she wants. Does she want blood? I don't know.
I mean, outside of the fact that maybe she decides her boundary is she doesn't be friends with him anymore, but that's a her thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, other than that, you're right. Literally, the man's apologized. Maybe she needs a more sincere one. I don't know. And I mean, from what I recall, he apologized to her and her girlfriend. So
Yeah.
again, I don't know. But back at their condo, they're whispering it's Nia and Danny because their kids are asleep. Child, I have been there. Woo, that's like if somebody, you'll be like trying to be quiet because God forbid that child wake up and something will happen. Somebody will knock, some that phone ring. Here comes the doorbell. What? Yes, been there. I love them though for that because that is so real. That is a real thing. Yeah,
And
kids
imagine like your like little kids are sleeping and you have like a whole camera production crew in like your condo.
No, Jesus, no. And they're all like wide eyed, like shh. God, trust me, I so get it. So she's telling Danny about the dinner and the moment with Janet saying, if she has a problem with Danny and his drinking, she can come to her because of her ex with the whole substance abuse thing. And Danny was upset, but
He was a
Nia,
little too calm for me. I would not have been that calm.
yeah. Like I said, I think there's something amiss there that that we don't know. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. So from there, they go over to Janet and Jason, and she's telling Jason how she told Nia about the issue with Danny and how it made Jasmine feel. And then Nia brings up the fact that they say he took a shot in the pantry. So she's now confronting him about with him closing the pantry door. And he says, look, that's where the bottles were. And Nia's like, well, you're doing that nervous laugh thing. Because I guess that's a thing he does. And he was like, am I? She was like honed in, like, you really are. So, like, what's that about?
I still hold that his story hasn't changed from that conversation during filming to Watch What Happens Live. No one was like, that's not where the bottles were. So you all know it's where the bottles were.
That's where the bottles were, right. He told Andy he went to get him White Claw. And then, when he was in the pantry, he saw the Casamigos. He, like, took a swig and drank his Black Hawk. I mean, to me.
And was he alone if Janet was in there?
No, sure was not. Good point. No, you're right. Maybe they were
like it wasn't like he was like trying to hide it and she like caught him. She was in there with him.
She was in there, right? So it's just like they're really making a big thing, like I said, unless we're missing some facts. So, then we're over. Jason. Jason wants to talk to Danny about getting to the blackout point and offending Jasmine and Melissa.
Must be hard to be friends with all these saints.
Man, and you know what, Joey? Like Jason's act of being Mr. Perfect and I'm a swooping and saver, it's getting old. So now, I mean, not like I don't want to believe that he's that good, but I don't believe he's that good. And so when the stuff comes out, maybe it'll give me more clarity because it's starting to get on my nerves a little bit. It's like, dude, first of all, it's not your job to fix everybody or fix everything in the friend group. So, like, fix your wife. Start there. It starts at home.
Yeah. And, like, right? Like, Janet is so hell-bent on, oh, well, Jasmine felt like that. Jasmine's feelings. But you guys don't give a crap about Nia's feelings. Like, I just don't understand, like, the unbalanced. I just don't get it.
I just think there is some jealousy there. They really seem to have, nobody's marriage is perfect, but I mean, they show each other mutual respect, and it's a different vibe, and so I mean, there could be some jealousy going on. I don't know. Back over at Nia and Danny, he says it feels like the roast of Danny Bucco, and I'm gonna have to say I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and then let's see. Oh, well, that's basically how it ends in because these notes are actually what we're going to look for on next week. Because he said it felt like the roast of Danny Bucco and he didn't like it. So that's kind of how the episode ended. And then they kind of go a little bit into next week where Brittany is freaking out. She doesn't want Jax to get out.
Don't blame her.
I don't blame her either. But Brittany's going to have to make a decision to take a stance in her life that whether that means restraining order, all the things that she threatened, if she has to use them, she'll have to use them. A guy like Jax, you can't reason with that. You're going to have to show him you mean what you say. So that's where she's going to have to go. Kristen Shays Jason about taking his wedding ring off, so we'll find out more about that. And then
Can't wait.
I can't wait. And Jasmine will confront Danny next week. So all things I'm looking forward to. So definitely we'll be tuning in next week and come back and do a recap of episode 7. Now, real quick before we end this episode, I do want to know, Joey, your thoughts on the Shamea versus Porsha, their friendship.
First of all, it makes me very, very sad because I feel like, right, fame and this TV show is coming between friends of decades, which is crazy to me. Shamea said something, I don't know if it was last episode or this episode or whatever, but it really hit me where, and I believe her when she says it, that the Porsha in front of the camera is a different Porsha than the Porsha that she grew up with and was friends with. Mm-hmm. And like that makes me so sad because I've always been like a big Porsha fan. And I firmly believe that it's Porsha that's letting the show get in between their friendship. It's not Shamea. Shamea's like, girl, like, where are you at? Like, you're my BFF. Like, you're my sister. And it's like very sad. And the way Porsha handled that dinner, where she was like, we're going to box our meals to go, like, blah, blah. Like, girl, fight for your friendship. This is your best friend.
Listen, Porsha is really not doing herself any favor this season. We were all excited. Season 16, she was snatching her peach back. All it's been giving me is she's a lot less likable. And listen, sometimes it's not that she did not know, because she had already inked her deal before she filed for divorce from Simon. So it wasn't like she planned to show her fabulous life with her husband and then, it got the rug got snatched out. However, it just didn't go the way she planned for it to. And for me, I feel like what I'm watching is a little jealousy. I feel like that Real Housewives was Porsha's thing. I mean, and Shamea's been a part of the show for many seasons as a friend of.
Years, yeah.
Years, here, there, we're all used to seeing her. We knew her name. We knew who she was. But I don't think that Porsha realized or thought that Shamea was going to like take off and then come across as more of the anchor of the show. And I mean, Porsha can't even film on her own mansion. And I hate that, because that's a real thing too. And sometimes, particularly when you're really good friends with somebody since like teenagehood or childhood, you simply in some regard can't outgrow them. And, they had a fun, light friendship, but it seems like when Shamea wants to address the things that have hurt her, or, Porsha's just not interested. And I mean, quite frankly, to me, it's not shocking, because I look at how she treats her sister Lauren. I mean, it's very, I love you as long as you're subservient to me. I'm Porsha.
Very good points.
So that wasn't given to me. Anywho, so quickly on Love Hotel. Thoughts on Love Hotel?
My thoughts is that at least, we're finally seeing Shannon, like that, the Shannon that we know, that is just like completely like off her rocker. Like, I don't know, like, and the way that the women are, which again, I knew this was going to happen, but like rallying around her, like the things that Giselle especially said to poor Earl the Pearl, like, girl, you weren't there. You don't even know what happened. You're just hearing unhinged Shannon's side. And Giselle was like kind of aggressive. And I also, though, I feel like Earl was 100% not ready to be on a reality dating show.
No. Yeah, no.
And especially not with like Bravo celebrities. Like,
no.
The fact that so many men on the show don't watch Housewives, and I felt like don't know what they were getting into, which I don't know if I believe that or not either. It's baffling to me because I also feel like I love like the women that they chose. I'm a huge Luann fan. I love Giselle. Like Giselle, like I just don't think Giselle's right for like the show. I don't feel like Giselle's looking for love at all. I think Giselle wanted to be on another Bravo show.
I agree with you 1,000%.
I don't know. And I also feel like, where is this show going?
I know. It's kind of all over the place.
It's all over the place.
It's all over the place. I mean, Luann has a personality that the next new shiny one that comes across her, I mean, that's just Luann. I mean, who's going to lock her down? None of them. No. But it's fun watching her interact with the ones that can keep her thinking for 5 seconds. It's cool. Giselle, clearly, like you said, she's not interested in any of them. I think she particularly wants to be in the women's mess and be messy. Ashley is looking for that next sugar daddy. And I mean, no matter how hard Wale or any of these other smooth talkers come on, let's be clear. You ain't Ashley's types. Sir. Come on now. And Shannon, yes, Shannon is going to be unhinged because that's just who she is. But one thing Shannon does and does well is she can play a victim well. And yeah.
And everyone buys it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She's good at it. She is good at it. She is. She really is. So yeah. You know what? I watch it, but it's crazy because I'll watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. And then, so by the time Love Hotel comes on, I'm usually busy doing something. So I'm in and out. Like, I'm not like glued to it.
It's not like one you have to really pay a lot of attention to.
No, it's not giving like you got to sit there and watch it. You know, I pop in and out and I'm like, oh, no, she didn't. Oh, girl, look at that. You know what I mean? But it's like, yeah, I'm certainly going to watch it through. And perhaps now I could see how the host might have gotten perturbed with Shannon because I feel like it's only going to get worse. So there's that.
Do you think that we'll get a season 2?
I definitely think we're going to get a season 2. Because who was it? It was somebody that was on Watch What Happens Live that was talking about who would be good ones to be on there. And it was, they said Porsha.
God, yes. Wait, I did see this because you're right. They did say Porsha.
Uh-huh. And now I can't remember who else they said, but God knows there's so many to choose from.
I want to see Kiki on there.
Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be good. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing her. And I would have said like Dorit, but no, not a Dorit. No, not yet.
I had said our girl Linda from the social our Facebook groups asked that, and I said I'd like to see Erica Jane on there only because I just like love Erica Jane.
That would be good.
I would love to see Kiki on there.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I would love to see like Dolores on there because I don't think that this guy's the one for her.
Polly is not the one for her. She has a bad picker too, and I hate that. She's a good woman. I love Dolores, and she's beautiful. Polly, he's not it. The whole, I mean, she's not the kind of woman that should have to wait on a man and just like, okay, well, when are we gonna do this? Jersey's very family oriented and very husband wifey. Like you don't girlfriend for 20,000 years. Not there. That's not the culture. So it's like, sir, move along. And he's not divorced.
I know. Speaking of Dolores, though, have you seen all these rumors that she is going to be part of the Real Housewives of Rhode Island?
I have not, but I am not mad.
Oh, all over the socials that Dolores bought a house in Rhode Island and that they haven't like said anything official yet, but that all these like leaks are coming out and that she's already friends with some of the women and that she's going to be a big part of Rhode Island.
Okay.
Which makes me excited for her, but makes me even more concerned for New Jersey now.
Yeah. Yeah, because I could see that being a way to spin that off and get that going because we know Dolores and that helps us get to know these other ladies. And if they've got because here's a good segue. Because I wanted to mention for all of you Bravo fans out there, Bravo Con 2025 is going to kick off November 14th through 16th. I will be there. Tickets go on sale June 6th. Child, if it was like the last time, honey, have your phone in hand at 3 a.m. and just cradle it, okay? Because I don't know if it was like bots or what, but I mean, I was
It's always the bots.
Right. So I had to do the whole resale thing, and trust me, it makes no sense, those ticket prices. If it's not giving what I needed to give this time, your girl will not be going back. But they have already announced some of the folks that'll be here. A lot of Miami. So we have Adriana Demora, Aisha Scott from Below Deck, Alexia Napola.
Yeah, I love Alexia.
You were there last time. Oh, she was a good time. Angela Oakley, which I'm excited. Angie K. Yes, she's gonna be
there.
Yes. Ben Robinson. I'm not sure. Is that a Below Decker? Because I don't know that name. Britt Eady.
What?
She is on the roster.
So this is my problem, not to interrupt you again. This is the problem with Bravo, right?
Yeah.
You can threaten to kill someone on national television and they bring you to BravoCon.
Bringing you to BravoCon, honey. Yep, she'll be there. I mean, which concerns me because no one's been given contracts for a season 17 yet, but I really hope she was a one and done, but we'll see.
I hope people throw tomatoes at her.
I can see that she's going to be getting some hate. There's, believe me, and those fans, I mean, I remember having to like hold a mob back from Taylor and on Southern Charm. These grown women were calling this young woman a whore. I'm like, y'all. Yes, they were. Ryan, my husband, was like, Sherry. I was like, I mean, I get it. They were like, love you. Taylor, you whore. I was like, people take it very serious. So, but Brittany Bateman will be there. Brittany Cartwright.
Of course she'll be there.
Of course she will. She's got to get that attention. Brock will be there. Brock Davies. Bronwyn will be there. I can't wait. That makes me happy. Cynthia Bailey. Danny Bunko.
Bailey.
Dorit will be there. And do you know that Dorit right now is the only one from Beverly Hills scheduled to go to BravoCon? As of now.
I find that interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that speaks a lot of volumes about Beverly Hills because, again, like the rumor mill's flying off that Erica is getting demoted and Garcelle walked off. And I really just can't imagine Sutton being there without her bodyguard.
Me neither.
I pray to God Kyle Richards goes somewhere else besides Beverly Hills because, like, girl, I'm tired of you.
Listen, though, Kyle got a lot of slack. I was at her panel. She cried talking about Mauricio. So that's when, when I would get back and people would ask me, was it really? It's just a storyline. I was like, no, they seem to be sincere tears. But she can't stand. I mean, they were coming for her a lot. I don't think she could take it. Not after all the questions she's going to get on the whole Morgan way. That's my thoughts. But I won't go through the whole list. Just Drew Sidor will be there. Emily Simpson. Gina will be there. Gretchen Rossi. Gertie will be there.
Oh, Gertie. I love her.
Yes. Oh, gosh, she was there. She is stunning in person. And she walked out in 2023 with the bald head, and that's how we all realized she was fighting cancer. But just freaking stunning. Heather Dubrow. Heather Gay.
Love Heather Dubrow. Oh, Heather Gay. I hope someone throws a tomato at her, too.
Janet Caperna. Jasmine's going to be there. Jasmine Good. Captain Jason, who was fine, by the way. They have Jax on the roster.
Who?
Jax Taylor is on the roster.
Yeah, that's what Jax Taylor needs to do is go to Vegas.
Whew. Like Shep. Like, I didn't realize. Dude, my daughter just asked me, hey, Mom, can you please get a picture with Shep Rose from Southern Charm? I'm like, I don't know if I can pull that off for you. Out of nowhere, here he comes. Happy to take all the pictures I want. He has that real raspy voice. Didn't realize the man was black. He was drunk as a skunk. And they said he was so drunk, because I remember the panel because we were there. He couldn't even answer his questions. He was staggering, and I was like, "Ooh." So there's that. He ain't on the list, I don't think. But Jennifer Pedrati will be there.
Love.
Yes, Jessie Lolly, Julia Lemigova, Kate Chaston,
Love.
Katie Janela is going to be there. Kelly Farrell, Kiki's going to be there. Kiki Bart, Kristen
Love.
Doty,
Love.
Lala Kent, Larsa Pippen,
Ugh.
Lisa Barlow.
Okay.
Yeah, Lisa Hochstein. See, Mary
Is there
Cosby.
anyone?
Huh?
Who?
Which one?
What were you just gonna say?
Mary Cosby.
Ooh.
First one.
Is there anyone on this list from Jersey?
No. That's what I'm trying to tell you. There is not. And literally, Joey, they were all there in 2023. And we had to have 2 separate panels because you had your Teresa panel and your Melissa panel. 2 separate panels, but they were all there. To include all husbands, not one of them is on this list.
I can't take that.
I know. Oh, and really quick, the rest of the folks from the Valley, Nia, Michelle, Phaedra Parks will be there. Porsha will be there, which is good. She wasn't last time. Scheana Shea, Captain Sandy, Shamea is going to be there. Shannon Storms Bador, Sheree Whitfield, and Tamara Judge, Tom Schwartz, Whitney Rose, and our good friend Zach Wickham. So, and they said that there may be more. They want you to, of course, go ahead and subscribe to their app or whatever for like last minute announcements. But so far, no Jersey.
No Jersey. And you know who else you didn't say anything about? You didn't say anything about anyone from Southern Hospitality.
No Southern Hospitality. And no Southern Charm.
Right.
And no New York.
That's not surprising to me.
No, I mean, I know, but like
with the climate that we're in with them. But
yeah,
I'm shocked because I think that Southern Hospitality is one of the best shows on Bravo. Like right now,
they had a good season.
They had a great season, and those people are made for television. Again, a natural friend group. That shocks me, actually.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And no Southern Charm. I mean, like
no. Not one. No,
like
Craig.
I don't watch it personally, but I mean it's one of Bravo's biggest shows.
It's one of the biggest shows, and like Craig Conover is like, one of Andy's faves. There's no Craig, there's no Shep, which that's not shocking after how that went down.
I mean, Paige is huge. People that don't even watch Bravo know who Paige is.
There's no Summer House on here at all. Now again, this is the first iteration, so there may be others that they had, but this is what came on. This is off the Bravo site, so.
Oh my God! I thought of something that we didn't talk about that I had to talk about. Did you watch What Happens Live last night?
I did not. No, I was so tired.
So Andy asked a question from Threads, and actually, what made me think of it was you talking about Shep being blacked out. He said, do you feel sorry or do you feel like you have to apologize for saying that Nia isn't an Al Anon?
Oh, yeah. I didn't know. I caught that because that was early on.
Yes. And, but it's supposed to be anonymous. Oh, I'm so sorry, blah, blah. First of all, Janet, that was by design because you are a horrible person and no one can convince me otherwise. Number 2, it does not make me feel very good supporting our boy Danny because I don't think with like the lightheartedness that we're seeing and we're supporting and we're defending, she'd be in an Al Anon group.
No. The other thing that honestly concerned me, and I wasn't going to say it, Jada kept saying it, but it's true. The fact that you said if she was actually in the pantry with him, he wasn't hiding. If what they said was that he kind of closed the door and then did it and she was standing, I don't know which, and I think that was kind of the thing that they alluded to before. It's like he would look like he's drinking like the White Claw or something else where he'd be chugging something else. Again, we have to see what kind of unfolds the Al-Anon thing, unless it's from her childhood, which it could be.
You know what? That's true.
It could
but
be.
I feel like we're on season 2. If he was always getting blacked out, we would see more of that on television.
Oh, yeah. Because one thing Bravo does is keeps the alcohol flowing. So,
right.
Yeah. Oh, one other thing, and then we're going to go, y'all. Notice like how some reunion shows are alcohol free. They are not allowed to have alcohol on them, and some can.
Yeah.
I was like, what is that about? I mean, for some of them I understand, but I would think it would be across the board, or, like, why would it be?
They rip shots of tequila with Miami, and Marisol always has her cocky in her hand.
She's another one that it won't shock me if eventually. Listen, I love her dearly. Actually, I don't love her dearly. I don't. Marisol gets on my nerves sometimes. She's a
nightmare.
I like Alexia.
She's a nightmare human, but she's funny.
The Latin version of Teresa. They are so similar.
Maybe opinion. That's why I love them both.
I think so. And I really thought that. I was like, no wonder. Because even the way they get angry and the way they're it's very similar. It cracks me up.
And they're very good friends.
Very good. They are. They're solid. So there's that. All right, guys, we have talked your ear off enough, but that lets you know just how much we do love Bravo. You guys, if you haven't yet, go ahead and slide in the comments and let us know what you thought about last night's episode of The Valley. Do you think there's more to Danny and just a little chug-a-lug, or do we think there's really a problem there? What are your thoughts about the whole Brittany projecting, and what are your thoughts about just what we're alluding to that we're going to see next week? Y'all just put in the comments. Let us know what you think about Team Shamea, Team Porsha, and who are your faves on Love Hotel? Who do you think? Well, right now we're going to see other men, but what are your thoughts on Love Hotel? Let us know. All right, Joey, final words.
That's all I got. I'm excited for the Valley to keep going. I can't wait to take some skeletons out of Jana's closet since she loves doing it to everybody else. And trucking along. Just hanging on for dear life for Miami to start.
I know. It'll be soon, like just a couple weeks, I think. So
I know.
Because we'll be back with that too. So
yeah.
All right, guys. Well, as always, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.